Welcome, welcome, welcome back. How are we? How are we doing? How are you marching into March? How is your spring coming? How has your winter been? How has your new year been going? Are you sticking to your goals? I have not been, so this is a judge-free zone. Okay, life has been lifing like always. Yeah, that's nothing new. No complaints here because God has been guiding like always. So yeah, today's topic is delayed but not denied. I had another grievance, something else I had to grieve. Oh gosh. God said make a plan and watch how he laugh in your face. That man's been laughing in my face this last all my life. I have been making these plans all my life. I was supposed to be married and a millionaire by 25. Not even close. Not even close, people. We claiming it, but not even close. Close to might be being married, but I'm a little far off from being a millionaire. Okay. But delayed, not denied. So I was supposed to be graduating in May. Boo-hoo, sad story. Black American girl story. This has been pushed off until next May due to me having a balance I have to pay. I did not come up with the funds. It is actually $8,000 for me to finish school. I'm out of financial aid for undergraduate, and I need it for grads. And I have it for grad school, but I have to finish undergrad. And I only had one semester left, and which is my internship and seminar, and I was graduating, but I had to pay off my last semester balance by a certain date, and I actually came up with the funds for my taxes, but not in time. Well, they didn't want to take it. I actually wanted to give them at least half of it because they only wanted 4,000, so I had 2,000 of my taxes to give them early, and they didn't take it. So hey, and how everything worked out, it was kind of like God telling me, "Hey, you're going to get this, but we're going to wait. And it's not going to happen when you want it to happen. It's going to happen another time. And in the meantime, in between time, we're going to be doing other things." And this is so freaking annoying because I had plans. So it's like when you have plans, it's like God keep pushing my plans off, and it's like God stop playing with me and my plans. But I'd rather do it your way than any way because I ain't going against what God got for me. If it's not meant for me to do this, if it's not meant for me to be here, if it's meant for me to downsize myself and do something smaller because it is for a bigger cause, then that's what I have to do. Because back in the day in the Bible, it literally say, if you ain't do what God sent you to do, he kills you right then and there. And oh, the grace that God has for us now. Because a lot of us supposed to be dead. I know God asked me to do a lot, and I have not done it, especially when it comes to this podcast. God be in my head heavy about making these podcasts and doing interviews and networking with people and bringing people on the podcast and getting their story out here. But it's so hard doing that, y'all, when it comes to dealing with people and they keep canceling on you or people telling you they're going to do this and they cancel on you. And I've been dealing with that a lot. It's a lot of unprofessionalism around here. A lot of people lack professionalism, and I just can't deal with it because I'm a very on time, punctual person. I like to do things on time. I like to be on time. I like to stick to a plan. I like to stick to what I say. Now, if life start happening, a death happens, or something dramatic happens in your life, and it kind of throw you off your rocker a little bit, and you need time, I get that. I completely get that. I do. But when it comes to just saying you're gonna do something and you just not doing it, no excuse, no reason, no rhyme or reason, you just don't want to do it, then it's completely different. So yeah, that's completely different. So yeah, I just have to learn how to work with people, and God gonna send the right people for me to work with. I have to trust and believe that. I'm just gonna have to learn to deal with the things that come with it, and it's gonna always be something with something. Always something with something. It's gonna be something with everybody. Nobody's gonna be perfect. No job is gonna be perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. It's gonna be something you have to deal with, a compromise you'll have to make. So, yes. So, with that being said, we are working on interviews. We have been working on some things. I just had another situation that happened to me that threw me off my rocker once again. I have been dealing with so many life changes, like dramatic life changes. Not little things, y'all. Ain't been little things. Ain't been little things. If it was little things, I could deal. God don't give me little battles. He do not give me little battles to fight. I always get the biggest. Okay. Like my stuff be big. Like it be big. Oh my goodness. Like I'm kind of overstimulated right now, but I'm still gonna do this podcast. But I'm very overstimulated. But we're going to get it done. So, today's topic is delayed, not denied. Genesis says the Lord was gracious to Sarah as he said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him. So the story of Abraham and Sarah is the ultimate biblical example of a long delay. They waited 25 years for the promised son, Isaac. This verse emphasized that God did it at the very time he had promised, showing his faithfulness in his specific timetable. God is a mighty God. God's timing is perfect. And sometimes we go on God to come do something right then and there, and we aren't ready for him to come do it right then and there. And if he do come do it right then and there, we may destroy what he ultimately has for us because we weren't prepared and we jumped the gun and we went and did it before him. If we had a choice to do things, it would never be done right. And that's why we have God that set things before us. Our life is already laid out before us. And God will orchestrate and put people in your life and put you in places and diminish things and take things from you. And it seems like he's destroying you and he's breaking everything down in your life and taking everything from you. But God will break you down just to rebuild you. And I know this. I'm one person that knows this. I've experienced this firsthand. God broke me down completely to restore me. I thought I had it all. I thought I was in control. And to this day, I'm still learning. I'm not in control. And I think my biggest lesson this season is learning to trust God and let him just be in control. And I think that's just a cheap way of trying to run from being in full relationship with God, is trying to have some control. Because when you are in full relationship with God, you know you're not in control and you let God have full control. And I'm getting there. It's hard because I like to know that I have some type of control over my life. So it's really, really hard, guys. But we have to trust God. We have to trust him. And that's the only time we have peace. And that's when you get that peace that surpasses no other. When you trust God. I promise you. When you trust God, everything is laid out and set before you. Okay? All right. So, Lamentations 3, verse 25 to 26 says, the Lord is good to those who hope is in him. To the one who seeks him, it is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. So this verse reframes the waiting period itself as a good thing. It teaches that the posture of hoping and waiting quietly on God is an act of faith that is pleasing to him. So in the waiting time, you learn a lot about yourself. The waiting isn't just waiting. You learn things in the waiting. So say I want to graduate and I wanted to graduate. I supposed to graduate in 2015 to get my degree. Boom. Okay. I didn't. Things happen. So it's been 10 years later, and I've grown and now I'm going back to school to get my degree. And I got so close to getting it and graduating and going into a career, a really good career. But life has happened and I wasn't able to afford it. But I also think that was some type of delayed gratification from God because he's just like, you're close, but you're not exactly where I want you to be yet before you start taking on having people's mind in your hands. Because what I'm going to school for is medical social work. So, and counseling. So it's like, God is like, you're close, but it's just a little more work I need you to do before you get there. Delayed, not denied. And some things need to be delayed in life. It's a lot of things I wanted at an early age that I wasn't ready for. And it took me to get grown and I started to receive those things to know I wasn't ready for when I was that young. I wanted to taking care of it or handle it like I would handle it now because I'm grown, I'm mature, and I understand things a little different now. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for every delay, everything that has been delayed in my life. I'm thankful for things that were closed in my life, every door that was closed in my life, seriously, because it guided me somewhere else. Like my life has definitely been like this map I know that God has laid out before me because he's placed me in this place and I met this person. It guided me to this person and it guided me to this person and it guided me to this person and they guided me to this place where I met this person. And everything has been a push closer and closer to him and closer to becoming who he has called me to be. So let him use you. I had to learn to let God use me. Hebrews 10, verse 35 to 36 says, so do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. You need to preserve so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised. This is a direct exertion to those facing a delay. It acknowledges the need for perseverance and warns against the temptation to give up confidence right before the promise is about to be fulfilled. Y'all, this is my story. This is my story. Yeah, I have been wanting to give up so much because it's like, God, I'm doing so much and I'm trying my best. And it's like every time I try to become a better version of myself and I get so close to being a better version of myself, something big or dramatic happens in my life that pushes me two steps back. And it's like God have been fighting this battle, and I'm so tired of fighting this battle. God, give your girl a break. And it's like that's not what you're here for. I need you to keep getting broke. I need you to keep getting heartbroken. I need you to keep getting hurt. I need you to do this because it's building you up to become the person I need you to be. Everything you're going through right now is going to be a story for the glory. And I had to learn it. I had to learn that God ain't just beating me up and punching on me and slapping on me for no reason. He give me all these bruises. So when I do go out and tell my story, I actually have the war wounds to show it. Because you got some people that act like they went through so much and they ain't went through a damn thing. You got 19 and 20-year-olds out here that been living off their mama their whole life and had a baby at an early age, act like they out here struggling. And it's like, baby, you don't even know the struggle. You don't know what it's like to even not have a baby by yourself, not even have a mama to live with. Like, seriously. So it's like, some of us have been through more than others. It's people out here that have been way through way more than me. And it's not for me to tell a story. It's not for me to act like, I've been through so much that I haven't been through. I've been through some things. And I won't take away what I've been through. I won't take away what nobody else been through. But at the same time, I won't act like it has been the worst of the worst because somebody else out there has a story to tell that will help somebody else and get them where they need to go. My story may be for this person, and this person's story may be for that person. We all out here to touch somebody, okay? We all got to go through to get to. And when we go through things, we can bring that back to help other people go through and get through some things as well. So we are here to help each other, not hurt. And I feel like that's why God takes us all through things and give us all our own story and our own journey and our own walks of life and ways of living. So we can all have our own story to tell to our own audience because we all have our own audience. We all have our own people we're gonna touch in this life. So it ain't nobody else's story for me to tell. So yeah. So delay, not deny. I don't know what you're dealing with right now in your life. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what doors may have been closed. I don't know what you may have expected to happen for you when it didn't. I'm sorry. I do apologize that happened to you. I do apologize that you have to grieve that loss because it is a loss that you have to grieve. Thinking that something's going to happen and it don't is also a loss that you have to grieve. So I'm sorry that you have to grieve that loss. I am. But you are delayed, not denied. What God has for you, no man can take. And don't try to make things your way. Just because God didn't work it out for you now don't mean he won't work it out for you later. So don't try to take things into your own hand and do them your way because it will only make things worse. Trust me. So, and don't try to compare your journey to nobody else's journey. The race that is set before you is meant for you to run. Your race is not for nobody else to run. And don't compare your race to nobody else's race. I be seeing 30-some-year-old women out here comparing themselves to 20-some-year-old women. Are you for real? I see 20-some-year-old girls out here comparing themselves to 30-some-year-old women. Are you for real? Run the race that's set before you. Stay in your lane. Okay? I promise you. When you do stuff like this, when you don't care about what the next person doing and you run the race set before you and you understand that God has everything set out before you and he is in control, you'll stop worrying so much. You'll stop stressing so much. You'll stop looking for things and other people and looking for temporary highs and happiness outside. And you'll learn to sit down and enjoy your own company. Seriously. So delay, not denied. Keep going, keep growing through whatever you're going through. Keep going and keep growing. This is what life is about. It's about getting through and growing and becoming stronger and stronger. I'm learning this. This is literally what life's about, y'all. This is what life's about. You're going to have to go through some things to grow through some things because you have to tell other people what you went through. Okay? So it's not going to get easier. It's not. It's not going to get easier. Life is hard and it's not meant to be easy. And once you come to your realization, you'll realize that only way it's gonna be easy is if you understand the plans of God and be in relationship with Him and understand that whatever it is in life that you want, you can have. And just because it's not happening right now doesn't mean that it can't happen. Delayed, not denied. So journal entry for this week is what's going on in your life, or what's one thing in your life that you have been really, really, really wanting, and you've been really wanting to happen for you, but it has not happened, and you're just kind of off. It's kind of throwing you off, and you kind of like, God, I really wanted this, but this is not happening. So I just don't know what to do no more. Um, what is that? What is that? What is that? And what is it that you need to make change in your life to work towards that thing? What is the thing that you have given up on that didn't work out for you? You felt like, oh God, I really wanted this, but it didn't work out for me in the time I wanted to happen, so I just gave up on it. What is that thing that you can go back to and work on? What is that? What is that? What is that? And think about those things and go from there and let them use you guys. So yeah, that's the journal entry for this week. What is the thing that you kind of given up on or didn't happen in the time that you wanted to happen or expected for it to happen and you kind of gave up on it? What is that? And write about it and think about a way you can come back to it and realize that it was delayed, not denied. So yeah, let them use you. And we will see you all prayerfully next week. Prayerfully next week. Thank you for joining in on Talks in the Mirror with me, Vanessa Marie. Have a great week.